Oh, he's right there. Okay.
Well, good morning, everybody. No good mornings back. There's got to be a little more energy in here than that. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I'm Tara Ellis, President and CEO of FeedMore Western New York. It's really an honor to be here with so many community partners who help us fulfill our mission every day. I really want to thank our friends at Delaware North for being the key to today's celebration, and you will be hearing a little bit from Lou in a minute. We're so fortunate to have Lou here, Delaware North co-CEO, joining us, in addition to his amazing leadership of Delaware North, a 30-year-old company in Western New York. He's a member of our board of directors and a true member. He's everywhere. He co-chairs our capital campaign with our former board member and all-star community leader, Ann McCarthy, somewhere in here as well. And both Lou and Ann are going to speak to you in a minute about why we're here. We're also joined by lots of other community partners who play a critical role in providing dignity, hope, and a brighter future for our neighbors. We have FeedMore board leadership who give us countless hours throughout the community. I know there's a couple behind me and a couple in front as well. A few of FeedMore's dedicated volunteers, and all different volunteers. Our volunteers do everything for us. Some of our volunteers want to raise their hands. Charlie, I know you're back there. We have almost 5,000 volunteers throughout the community dedicating more than 105,000 hours every single year. That's about $3.5 to $4 million in value. And it's literally priceless, the value that they give through the love and the care and the tender touches to those in the community and through the work they're doing right here. They're delivering to our homebound neighbors, they're sorting and packing food, they're working at our front desks, they're toiling in the garden, getting dirty. It doesn't matter what the job is, these folks stand up for us. And the food that is packaged here, sorted, boxed, and delivered out, and the food that is prepared at our James Z. Casey location goes out to about 400 different community partners in Erie, Cattaraugus, Niagara, and Chautauqua counties. Some of them are here as well. I know we have a couple agency partners here. So thank you guys for being with us today. They are the boots on the ground, making sure that they are on the battleground, facing and battling hunger and treating all of our community members with extreme dignity and respect like we all want and deserve. And of course, we have some of our amazingly hard-working staff members in attendance, mostly standing behind the cameras being shy. But nothing moves without them. They're here every day, every night, every weekend. It doesn't matter what is going on, they are showing up for our community members. And some of our current employees are graduates of our RISE Workforce Development Program, a program we are incredibly proud of because it changes lives every day. It stops the need for having to utilize these services. These folks can stand up and have sustainable employment with us and many industry partners across our community. I know your cameras are facing in the wrong direction, but I hope you get to see some of these amazing staff later on this afternoon. And I want to thank our representatives from the media. We cannot tell our story without you, and everything that FeedMore does is a story, whether it's the story of a grandmother taking care of her grandchildren, or the story of a family that is unexpectedly unemployed, or a child who just needs something to eat on the weekend. You help us to make sure that people understand that hunger isn't just about numbers, it's about faces and people that we care for each day. Without your partnership, those stories don't get told, so please keep helping us to tell those stories. And our mission is to alleviate food insecurity and joblessness, which is only possible because we are in this community of good neighbors. Neighbors that always stand up for FeedMore and those we serve. Whether it was through COVID, when literally thousands of people were flooding our doors saying, "How can I help?" Or on the heels of 514, when community members came for months and served at emergency distribution, sometimes unsolicited, just showing up. Or whether it is every single day here in our facilities, or evidenced at the Erie County Fair, where over 140,000 pounds of food was brought and donated to help make sure the family members have something on their tables to eat every single day. Biggest ever fundraiser through the Erie County Fair food raiser. But our facilities are operating far beyond their capacity. We are renting and borrowing more than 30,000 square feet of space, freezers, coolers, dry good throughout the community. That puts us in a really vulnerable space. And we have no room for staff, additional volunteers, or new programs. This is obviously not where a mission like ours should or needs to be. So to be sure that we can keep feeding and training our community members in need, today FeedMore is calling on our partners for support in building the future, to protect this work for all of our neighbors who need us in the days and the years to come. To continue to do this life-saving work that everybody here makes possible every single day, we've been spending years working toward the planning and design of a new 197,700 square foot facility in the geocenter of our 4-county service area in Hamburg, New York. There we will be able to increase our capacity and our capabilities in our warehouse, in a commercial kitchen, growing our workforce development program, growing other new innovative programs, adding clean rooms to repack donated bulk products that we cannot currently do, and many other critical improvements for food safety and for innovation programming. To make this critical need a reality, today we are here because we're celebrating. We're celebrating a milestone. And the milestone in this work is the official kickoff of the public phase of our capital campaign. I'm really thrilled to report that we've reached nearly 2/3 of our goal to build a $99.8 million facility. We are so grateful to all who have made this possible, but we need many, many, many more commitments, both large and small, and the continued support of our community partners to complete our goal and secure the future home, the mission base for FeedMore Western New York. So without further ado, it's really my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our partner who gives us so much help, leader of the amazing global Delaware North, headquartered here, but living commitment, living daily a commitment not only to this community, but to the individuals in this community that need them most, the most vulnerable. Delaware North donates food. They donate a lot of funds. You're going to hear about that in a second. But they also donate time, talent, love, compassion. They volunteer every single week to donate meals for us to our homebound neighbors. They're here sorting and packing food and working in that messy community garden that is so great for harvesting food for our community. So Lou Jacobs is here to share how Delaware North is again stepping up and stepping forward as a leader in this work. Please let me introduce Lou Jacobs.
And I'm Lou Jacobs, CEO at Delaware North, and I'm proud to serve on the board of directors for FeedMore Western New York, and I'm honored to co-chair this capital campaign with my friend Ann McCarthy. I want to recognize and thank our board chair, Eric Decker, and past board chair, Matt McAfee, for your leadership. FeedMore has always stepped up to care for Western New York's most vulnerable neighbors through a vast network of hunger relief efforts, but the demands for services in our region has stretched FeedMore's facilities far beyond their capacity. Delaware North has committed $1 million to FeedMore through this campaign to help build a centralized facility that will meet the urgent needs of our community. In addition to this $1 million commitment, we're matching the first $250,000 raised through this public phase of the campaign, bringing our total commitment as a company to $1.25 million. And to put our money where our mouth is, all of Delaware North's Western New York locations will be serving a signature cocktail called the 716 Spritz during the month of October, with proceeds benefiting FeedMore. As Tara announced, we're 2/3 of the way to our goal, but there's still significant work ahead of us. And I'm proud to be part of a business community that rallies to meet the needs of our Western New York neighbors. And I have no doubt this community will step up once again to care for our most vulnerable citizens by supporting this campaign. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou, and thank you to all of our friends at Delaware North for this amazing kickoff to the public phase of our capital campaign. We're unbelievably grateful for the generosity and partnership, and I personally am super excited to try that spritz. I think you should all take folks out and make sure that you try that amazing drink. So FeedMore does always rely on a tapestry of private and public funding sources. This project will be no different. In fact, this critical campaign will be even more reliant on everyone coming together. Just as we've not made it as far as we have to get to this portion of the goal, we need you to make it to the goal line. So I do want to recognize and thank New York State Governor Kathy Hochul and the state lawmakers who have allocated $24 million to the campaign in their 23-24 state budget. That's the largest single investment in the campaign so far, and we're incredibly grateful for the governor's support. In addition, our federal lawmakers to date have helped secure $2 million in funding for our new facility. And I absolutely must thank the amazing partners who were leaders already in stepping up to make donations of $1 million or more to support this campaign. The Ann Alford and Manson Fisk Sir Dams estate, which I know many of you know about already, is part of what is making this success. The Mother Cabrini Health Foundation, and I don't know John Craik is here to recognize and represent them today. Thank you, John. And the David and Joan Rogers Family Foundation. Dave is here with us today. Dave may have sat in a very crowded, messy CLC with Lisa Woodring, who is working so very hard on this campaign with us and had to endure us being a little weepy when we found the news that he was going to make his wonderful gift. So we're so grateful. They showed true leadership. Each of these donors were the firsts. They were the first 7-figure gifts from a corporation, a foundation, an estate, and a private family. And we are so delighted to have them standing here by our side today. We deeply appreciate all of you for helping Western New York to secure brighter futures for Western New York neighbors for many generations to come. And now it is my true honor to introduce our Capital Campaign co-chair, Ann McCarthy, who will share what every member of our community can do to help us make this next great leap forward for FeedMore.
I'm really glad to be here with you today, surrounded by so many friends, and I'm really eager to talk about this very important and transformational project. This is familiar ground to me. I've been hanging around this warehouse for 35 years. I was privileged to know many of the founders of this wonderful place, one of whom taught me that you simply cannot solve people's other problems when they are hungry. That stuck with me then, and it sticks with me still. And Tara just said, this place is full of stories. Here's mine. The other day, I was sitting next to my old friend, I know a lot of you know Mark Laurie, the superintendent of schools in Niagara Falls. And if you know Mark, you know he's an enthusiastic educator and he loves kids. He was passionate when he was speaking to us about the difference that a backpack full of food, sent home with his students on a Friday, has made in their lives. He mentioned the obvious, that FeedMore's backpack program means that children won't go hungry through a weekend. But he also cited data of improved school performance that he attributed in part to the FeedMore partnership. It's these types of partnerships that have been an enduring part of FeedMore's legacy and that will carry us into our future. FeedMore Western New York has always risen to the challenges of feeding those who need us every time we've been called to do so. We have the right team, we have the energy, we have the commitment to mission, and we have the passion to serve this community as it deserves to be served well into the future. The one thing we don't have is simply the space. And that's why our message today is a simple one, as this now becomes our community's campaign. We need you. And that can mean anything from going straight to our website to make a gift, or by bringing us your own great ideas to help us reach our goal, or by supporting the promotions and fundraisers that will benefit our cause. Block clubs, book clubs, neighborhood groups, school groups, sports fans, music fans, there's a role for all of you in this effort. And we need you, and we welcome your ideas. And any gift, no matter the size, gets us ever closer to our goal. With the contributions we've received thus far, and with your help and support, we will fulfill the mission of the founders, who themselves took a huge leap when they acquired this space. And I honestly feel their presence here today, cheering us on and urging us to do as they did, to see a need, to face it, and to address it together. Thank you.
Well, as I said, we thank you so very much for being here. I am sure that anybody here would be happy to answer any questions that you may have. We have 33.7 million more to go, but who's counting?
What do you need to get to start breaking ground on the new facility?
Our plan is to break ground in the spring of 2024, and we absolutely must stick with that goal. We simply cannot continue to delay. We are always watching an eye with food safety, making sure that we have the capacity to continue to do things the way this community deserves. So that is our plan. We need the community to help make sure that that can happen.
Can you talk about, other than the size, what does this new building offer you guys as far as being able to get food out quickly or where it needs to be?
Absolutely. So not to get too excessively in the weeds, as we do have our partners in the architectural realm and the building realm behind us, but I can tell you that it will be a vast expansion of additional dock space. Why is that important? Because we need to be able to be moving food in and out and safely. We need to get it in, get it unpacked, get it into freezers and coolers. It gives us those freezers and coolers that we must have. If we do not have that space, we would have to turn donations away. That's not something that we want to be in a position of continuing to have to do. It gives us clean rooms, so that if we get a call from one of our amazing food manufacturing partners, whom we have many of in this community, we can take those products in and repack them in a clean facility to go out to families in need. So the list is honestly long, but those are just a few of the items that you'll see in this new facility. Absolutely. This will be the comprehensive facility that will include our commissary, our warehouse, our offices, and growing space. So once this building is up and running, we do anticipate everything that happens in centralized facilities to happen there. This will not change what is happening on the ground in the communities. Remember, FeedMore is the central hub. We do everything here, we bring it in, we cook it, we pack it, we send it out. We do 100% direct delivery, whether it is to the home of a client or to an agency. So this will not affect any of our partners, as honestly all it will do is improve the services and variety they receive, because we will continue to bring it out to them. Holt Street will be the first to be sold. The plan is to stage it. Obviously, being in one facility, that is our goal, is to all be together under one roof. This will help us to ensure that we can meet the efficiencies and the effectiveness that we planned for when we initially merged. It will be located at 4832 and 4884, I think is the number, Camp Road. It's two parcels that are squished together. It is very near the corner of Southwestern Boulevard. If you are familiar with that area, it's between a business plaza and a cemetery. It's not right at the corner, it's a little further in. It's a 74-acre parcel. And why on earth would we want 74 acres? Well, we are initially developing about 38 acres of that land. This will give us room to grow so that we're never in this position again, long after I'm retired, of those that come behind us of having to go somewhere new. This will be the permanent home. The building is being designed to allow whichever area needs to expand to do so independently, whether that is the office, the warehouse, or the commissary. All over the place, everywhere from Falconer to right here in Western New York. These are private business owners who have extra space in their warehouse. It is reefer trucks that we rent from local partners in the community, frozen space at large frozen storage facilities. We really aren't fussy because we can't afford to be. If someone is willing to share their space with us, we have to take advantage of it so we don't let our community down. It will not have to happen in the new facility. Thank the Lord. Any other questions? Well, thank you all so much for being here with us today, and please help us be champions of this work throughout Western New York. Thank you. All right, I'll go back here. Kat, you might want to take a couple pictures. Guess I could leave.